What's up guys, macadii here, bringing you a brand new live stream where we're going to be building a team based around Star, the Mega Sceptile. Now, if you are hyped for this session, don't forget to hit the like button down below. And if you've not subscribed to me, don't forget, we will be doing these live streams normally once a week, maybe more in the future. So if you're subscribed to me, you'll be able to know exactly when these live streams come up and you can join them when they're live. So, in terms of the moveset for Star, I've been having a think about this and it sounds a little bit quirky. And you're going to have to bear with me on this, but I think a Swords Dance set, while it may not be the most viable set, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to use, because it has access to Dragon Claw and Leaf Blade for stab, obviously for steel types and things like that. So, as I said, while I know it's not the most viable sort of move set, it should still be... We'll be doing these live streams normally once a week, maybe more in the future. What's happening there? So, if you're subscribed to me, you'll be able to know... There you go. Don't know what happened there. Some sort of weird feedback. Anyway, so yes, that should be a really interesting set to use. As I said, not the most viable, but probably the most fun, I must admit. It's good there seems to be a lot of guys who are here already. Yeah, hey guys, how's it going? I don't know how you guys will feel about the SD set, but we will come on to that. So, what I normally like to do is to have a look at the walls first. So, obviously, Star has a horrific ice weakness. So, I was thinking something in the lines of maybe Vaporeon would be a good, as a physical wall, because we can pass wishes, we can heal Bell, any toxics or burns or anything like that. Water Absorb is good for Crocoon. I always do try and have at least one Water Absorber on the team because Crocoon is just such an issue. So we can go for Scald. There. Scald. Protect. Wish, and yeah, definitely Heal Bell, just because it's going to support the team quite a lot. So we can run 252 in defense, 252 in HP with a bold nature, and then remembering this time to put 0 IVs in there, and that should be pretty good. That's good. You guys all seem to be joining now, which is absolutely excellent. Hopefully you guys will like the set and, as I said, everything like that. So, I also need nicknames as well. So don't forget, guys, in the chat, let me know what you think the nicknames for these Pokemon should be. I'm expecting some really good ones because you normally get some really funny ones out. So, in terms of the special wall, Vaporeon isn't particularly offensive, so I would quite like a special wall that still hits quite hard. So, maybe... I haven't used this in such a long time, but a Snorlax would work quite well, because we could run it Assault Vest with definitely the Thick Fat for those ice moves and fire moves get directed towards Star. That should be quite fun. And then we can go for Body Slam, Earthquake. Body Slam, I would probably run Body Slam over a turn just because of that 30% chance to paralyze means I can start outspeeding things as well. So Daniel's asking if he can record a game if we play against you. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Feel free to record or do whatever you want with the game. I really don't mind. So Vaporeon, a suggestion from Murok was Catfish. Yeah, I'm up for that. So we're going to go for Catfish for Vaporeon. Oh, not forgetting the capital C. And then, so we've got Body Slam, Earthquake. Oh, Pursuit. This is also, I've remembered now why I love Assault Vest Snorlax so much, because Pursuit on this is absolutely beautiful. And then probably Fire Punch for Fortress and things like that, because I haven't got any fire moves at the minute. Now, looking at this, obviously we're going to go 252 Adamant in attack. Because of the amount of HP he's got, this is going to sound a little bit weird, but I could either go for 252 in special defense, or I could go for 252 in defense. And actually that rounds off my defenses really well. And I've still got a ridiculous amount of special defense with that Assault Vest. And while it's a slightly weird set, I think that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to make that... I'm going to take a little bit off there and put it on there. Because we want an even number special defense. Just because... it means that with the 50% boost, it's more efficient, if that makes sense, because you get 50%. If you have 50% of an odd number, I think it rounds down. So yeah, that's probably the best way to go from there. So in terms of we quite need a lead, and I'm a really huge fan of a lead I used ages and ages ago. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a Azelf lead, where I could go for a Focus Sash. Focus Sash with Levitate, Stealth Rocks, because it means we're pretty much guaranteed to get our Stealth Rocks. I may change this round later on. So yeah, we'll go for that Stealth Rocks. What other moves does it get? Knock Off, U-turn as well, because that means we can preserve it as well if needs be. And as my absolute favourite, Explosion. And we can go for 252 in there, 252 speed, if I can actually get it to work, and just a jolly nature there. And that should be pretty good. We got 0 IVs in there, so that's fine. So we've got a lot of physical attackers at the minute. So maybe going for a powerful special attacker, which has good sort of offensive synergy with the rest of the Pokemon here. So, Chandelure would actually be a potential, sort of a useful option, because we could go for that. I may end up changing Azelf around. I'll have a think about that, but we'll go for Chandelure. I guess we could go for Choice Scarf. Daniel is suggesting maybe 8 in speed, Speed Creep, Fortress, and Slowking on Snorlax. Yeah, I think that's definitely a option. Why don't we go for that? We'll take that off because I don't think it's going to make too much difference. Whereas that tiny amount of speed investment may end up making a bit of difference. So we can go for Choice Scarf Chandelure here. And I think that's probably the best bet. Looking at this team from here, because we can go for that with we have the choice of Flash Fire or Infiltrator. Infiltrator, I am a huge fan of that. But we're going to go for Infiltrator for the minute. And I may end up, as I said, changing this round. So we're going to go for Fire Blast, because I'm risking, while I worry about misses, I think it's worth doing. And we can go for Shadow Ball. What else does he get on top of there? Oh, we can go for Trick, because there's a lot of annoying walls in this tier that would be it'd be really good if we could take those out. Doesn't really get a huge amount of choice. I guess Psychic might be an option. I'm trying to think what that would be useful for. Taunt for Azelf. Yeah, Taunt could actually be an option. As I said, what we'll do is we'll build these last couple of things, then we'll go back. So I'm not too happy about the Azelf at the minute. I think that could be changed out. Energy Ball, actually, because we can outspeed. There's quite a few things like Gastrodon and things like that are prevalent in this tier. So we can go for 252, 252, Timid. Make sure we put those 0 IVs in there. For the final Pokemon, if we're using... I'm actually quite tempted to change Azelf into maybe a Nasty Plot special set, considering we have quite a few physical attackers. Because that means we could have another bulky Mon, because we do need a Rapid Spinner. And to be honest, I'm not too keen on running a Defogger, because it's going to just compound our Ice weakness with Star, whereas Fortress actually complements these guys quite well. So we could go for a leftover set with, obviously, actually... What gets Spore? Not a huge amount, but might be. So Daniel's suggesting Flash Fire for Victini. I think Flash Fire is probably the way to go, because also if I'm running a Fortress as well, that does make a lot more sense. So we can go for Rapid Spin. What else? We could go for some Toxic Spikes, actually. That'd be quite interesting, because then we can start whittling them down. Because what we want to do is to whittle everything down to a point where a combination of Azelf, Chandelure, and Star can actually then take them out. So we go for Toxic Spikes. And then... What other moves does he have? We could go for a Pain Split set. Rock Polish. Oh, I've just got visions now of a Rock Polish Fortress set. I'm not going to be doing that, don't worry. Maybe go for Volt Switch, or maybe go for Spikes as well. So we go for a full-on sort of Hazards team, especially defensive as well. We're going to go for, is it Calm? No, yeah, we want Calm because we got Volt Switch there. Because Volt Switch means we can switch out and things like that. Yeah, Energy Ball is definitely the way to go for Chandelure. 252, not forgetting the 252 in there. Maybe a little bit just for a tiny bit of speed creep. And we're going to change this Azelf set round, because at the minute we have I think this will be better off as a special set, personally. Because we can go for 252 Timid. If it will actually let me. There you go. So we go for 252 with Psyshock. Dazzling Gleam, because we haven't got any... Yeah, this is probably better because we haven't got any Fairy stab or anything... not stab, you know, Fairy moves or anything like that. What else does it get that would be useful? We could possibly go for, like, a lead set. Well, we can go for Nasty Plot. I think Nasty Plot is probably the best way to go. Yeah. Let's see, what else? We could go for... No, I don't think Substitute's the best way to go here. I'm just trying to think of... Maybe T-Bolt, because we haven't got any... yeah, haven't got any electricity moves outside of Volt Switch. And I think outside of, like... I'm not sure what coverage it can't cover. I think that's pretty much everything. Well, we're going to roll with that. And as I said, I do need some nicknames, guys, so don't forget about that. And that's probably the best way to go. We could go for a mix set, actually. Maybe run Knockoff on there. I'm actually a little bit tempted to do that, because that means we're just going to get rid of that and put that minus in defense. Actually, it doesn't complement the... No, we're going to go for Thunderbolt, I think. Because it doesn't really sort of sit well with the Nasty Plot set, because it seems pointless to set up Nasty Plots just for 2 moves. So we're going to go for that. And I think we're pretty much there. So we've got a Volt Switching Rapid Spinning Toxic Spike Sky there. Choice Scarf Flash Fire, yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this team. So I think we're going to go for our first battle. Just pop the last 4 in there and just make sure we've got... Yes, the stars all ready to go. So we should have a challenger starting off, and we do. So we're going to go for that. I'm just going to join the lobby as well while I remember, because otherwise you guys won't be able to find me as easily. Flamethrower. Oh, Flamethrower idea for a move on it. And at least T-Bolt I can set up on Crocoon and things like that and actually work my way through. I have a massive fear of Crocoon. And also, yeah, Psyshock does make it pretty much mixed, as Daniel says. So I think that I'm happy with that. So we're against a guy called the MRX747, who I assume is a subscriber, considering he challenged me. So he obviously has the Mega Beedrill there, and quite a defensive team going on here. I do lack ice moves. That's something that I have just instantly noticed. So maybe Ice Beam. Does it learn Ice Beam? No, it doesn't. Okay. That's something we need to consider for another day. But, okay, so looking at this guy's team. It's difficult to know what he's going to be leading with. I have a feeling it might be the Beedrill, but it's really tricky to say. I guess he might end up leading with the Donphan or something like that, so it's tempting to lead with maybe the Catfish. Yeah, definitely not, maybe even the Fortress, because he's not got a huge amount. Outside of Entei, Fortress does definitely do work. I think we're going to go and lead off with... Chandelure might be a good bet, actually. It sounds a little bit weird, leading off with your Scarfer, but we do outspeed the Beedrill, so we can force that out. He goes out into the Magneton. Well, we do outspeed this. And everything is neutral to Shadow Ball. And I don't think there's much this Magneton will be able to do, so we're going to go for that. Ice Beam on Vaporeon could be an option, actually, but I would really appreciate that heal belt, especially if I'm going to be getting potential burns on Snorlax. Snorlax just does not appreciate status at all, and also the same with Sceptile, so that's probably the best way to go. Mr. Mime is saying, watch out for Roost Toxic Spikes Giga Drain. You probably can see it on the stream, to be honest, but that is quite funny. I've had a suggestion from someone, I can't remember what it was it Acid Armor, I think Beedrill learns. It's either that or Iron Defense, where someone was suggested to me a defensive Mega Beedrill, which just, no. Like, I'm happy to go for SD, you know, Mega Sceptile and everything like that, but I think that's probably taking it a little bit far. Ice Punch for Snorlax, that's actually a really good call, because I already have Fire Stab with that. I was trying to see if I could fit Ice moves in that. Thank you, sarcastic Snorlax. So we're going to go for Ice Punch on there, and I think that's probably the best bet. And he does go out into the Vaporeon here, but we can very easily go out into... it's difficult to say. We could just go out into our own Catfish, really, because I don't think there's much this guy could do to us. We're just going to go out into our own Catfish, and we could set up a Wish and everything like that. As he does go... He goes for the Baton Pass. Oh, that's an excellent play. I always forget the fact that Vaporeon gets Baton Pass. That's really interesting, actually. I do really like that. As he goes out into the Magneton, as invariably there is going to be a Volt Switch going on here, but we can just Protect just to see what he's going to go for. And I'll be interested to see how much that would... I don't really want to stay in. I'm not going to stay in because I'm not manly enough. And we shall see from there. But, yeah, Magneton. I haven't seen Magneton in quite a while, I must admit. I think is it NU? Yeah, it's gone down to NU quite recently. Which is quite interesting. I guess he's got a bit of Volt turning going on, which is fair enough. I don't particularly want to just go for a Wish, so we can go out into Snorlax, because I think Snorlax can pretty much take whatever he wants to give. Yeah, we're absolutely fine with that. That's not a problem at all. So we're going to go for that, as I'm not too sure what he can bring in, because the Entei kind of has to wait until my Chandelure is out the way before that can do anything. So I'm not too sure. I guess he could go out into maybe the Donphan or the Gligar. He goes out into the Beedrill now. Well, I'm just going to go for a Fire Punch here, because that will do quite a decent amount of damage. I know he's probably going to go for the Protect here, and I think next turn... Ooh. Yeah, he's going to go for the Protect... Oh, is he going to... No, he's not. He's not going to go for the Protect because he outspeeds. So we're going to go for a Pursuit, because I think he's going to U-turn this turn. And I think that way he does go for the U-turn. Oh, no, it doesn't work like that, does it? Oh. No, I just realised I completely messed that up. Oh, I end up doing the Fire Punch anyway. Does it, though? I'm not 100% sure. That after... Yeah, unfortunately, Showdown's cancel button messed that one up for me. But there's not a huge amount I can do about that, unfortunately. Yeah, that is a shame, because I'd have been able to just OHKO that, which would have been really good. I don't know, actually, I may not have OHKO'd, but we're going to get a Wish off anyway. That's probably the best way to go from there. That was a shame, though. I didn't really think about that to start with. But he's going to be able to go back out, I presume, into the Magneton. But we can get a Wish off and everything like that, so that's going to be fine. And I'm hoping he's going to then go back out into the Beedrill, and we can then... Well, he's going to go out into the Magneton. We can go out into Snorlax again, and we're going to get that Wish health back up and see from there. Because I think he then end up going back out into the Beedrill. So Daniel's asking, is there any reason why I haven't done Ubers? There isn't really a particular... There isn't a particular reason, I must admit. It's in terms of, like, my experience with Pokemon, I haven't done Ubers before, really. And it's something I'd like to get into, but it's sort of dedicating the time to learn quite a different metagame, which I would be prepared to do, but it's just finding the time to do that at this point. Definitely something in the future. I would definitely like to do that, but at the minute, I'm more comfortable with those sort of tiers. I think doing a team builder and sort of having it as a competitive thing when I've barely played Ubers probably isn't the best way to go. But I'm definitely going to learn over the summer how to do that. And I'd like to do some more Little Cup as well, because I haven't done that in ages, and it's so much fun. So we go out into Snorlax. I know this is a bit of a risky play, as he baton passes out, and he can go out into the Beedrill. We're going to get him this time. I'm really excited for this, because we can go for the Pursuit. And I think, I'm really hoping, if the user moves after the foe using Party Shot U-turn but not Baton Pass, it will hit the foe before it leaves the field. We can do that, and that's absolutely excellent. Ah, he goes to the Protect. Oh, no. We're going to go for another Pursuit, because I think that's his most powerful move, and he can't afford to stay in. And that's probably the best way to go. So Brandon's asking me how I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm halfway through my exams at the minute, which is absolutely excellent. I've got 2 more next week, so I've got a little bit of a break, but it's not really a break, so to speak, because I've sort of still got to catch up on quite a lot of revision because I've been behind for various reasons, including my dissertation and sort of getting that done and things like that. I'm really hoping this mechanic works and I've got this right. I have a really bad feeling I might have got that wrong. So Brandon's also asking about whether my thoughts on Feraligatr being tested for OU. I wasn't even aware that it was. I can see why it is, to be honest, just because it just hits like an absolute truck. If it didn't get Dragon Dance, I could definitely see it staying down low, in the lower tiers. Oh, we get an absolutely awesome hit off there. As he goes out into the Entei, I'm just going to go out into Catfish because I'm not too sure what he's going to go for, and I don't think he's going to go for a fire move because he knows I've got the Chandelure. So yeah, I think it's probably worth it going up to OU, to be honest. I haven't had a problem with it in UU, I must admit, but I haven't really, I don't know, outside of these streams, I haven't really done a huge amount of UU recently. The one that I am quite interested, though, is about how, with Landorus Therion, about how that's being banned. And I've personally been having a think about this. I'm not, as I said, I've not made a video about it just because I've been so busy. But I personally think it's fine where it is in OU. While it hits like an absolute truck and it does have a good amount of coverage, it does have to rely a lot on Life Orb. It has to rely on Life Orb. You can run a Scarf set, but it's a bit like a Scarf Nidoking. It doesn't really do a huge amount. While I didn't do a video myself, I did actually do a video with another PokeTuber called, he's called the Pokemon Boy. If you search for him in the search, you should be able to find it there. And just to discuss some of my other points, but sort of just to give you a quick overview of my points, I feel it's fine where it is. It's not heavily used, so I don't really have too much of a problem with it. If it was used as much as maybe Landorus Therion, then I would understand. It also impacts deeply with the Heatran core, Heatran, I'm forgetting how to speak now, Heatran Venusaur core as well, which I think if that went away, it would actually start causing a lot of problems because that core is just absolutely disgusting. But we can go for an EQ here, and I think that's probably the best bet. I know he's probably going to switch, but I'm quite happy doing that. But I'm really liking this AV Snorlax. I don't know why, I absolutely love Snorlax, and it makes me sad when I don't use him enough. And I didn't realise as well, that also learns Explosion as well. I've never used it, but I think definitely something for the future. I think I once gave a team a go where I had a Assault Vest Snorlax with Explosion as well. But the problem is because it's so slow, you're never guaranteed to get it, to actually, get the Explosion off, really. Because it's really hard to judge when to actually explode. But, yeah. But with Landorus I being banned, I think it should still stay, because its usage isn't particularly high. I've never personally had a problem. I do understand why people have problems with it, with, its access to both physical and also special sets, and also mixed sets as well. But I think having to rely on Life Orb and all that sort of stuff means it is quite obvious, and also its lack of priority. I guess it does have that Rock Polish set, which will cause problems, but I wouldn't be surprised as well if Mamoswine comes back up as well. He does end up going for the U-turn there. I do really need to pack Ice Punch on that guy. But this does mean he can go back out into the Magneton, which is unfortunate, as he goes back out to the Magneton, but we can just protect here. I know this is a little bit of a stally time we've got here, but let's see. So we can do that, and we can go out into... We could go out into Star, actually. And how fast... I'm just checking how fast is Mega Beedrill. 145 as well. So it would be a speed tie. It's very, very tempting to do that, because I mean, with one SD, I should be able to sweep, I think. Because I can do that, and then I can Mega up, force the switch and go for the SD. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's change things up. Oh, he doubles out into the Beedrill. I'm going to have to go for the he's going to have to go for the U-turn, unfortunately. So we're going to go out into Fortress, because we know we can take that. That was definitely a good play to make there. But we do need an opportunity to Mega up whenever we can, as he does go for that U-turn. We need to start setting some hazards up on his team as well, because this Beedrill, we're definitely not going to go for T-Spikes, because he does catch us out there, but we are specially defensive, so we might be able to get a layer of spikes off, and I think that's probably the way to go, because that Gligar is really, really bulky, and it does mean that the Beedrill is going to get worn down in 2 goes, which is probably the way to go. Yeah, I'd rather get hazards up on his side than my side, because he hasn't, outside of Vaporeon, I guess he hasn't got a great way to recover his Beedrill up, and even then it's so frail, the chances of him actually getting a safe switch in is almost impossible. But even if Fortress goes down here now, I'm not too worried. But I have a feeling I can live a HP Fire. I'm assuming this is his Scarfer as well, because that's what they normally are, just to outspeed all of the other Steel types as well. He does go for the T-Volt, and we may end up living another one as well. Rocky Helmet on the Fortress might be an option. I would quite like to keep leftovers on it, just because it's more for sort of longevity, keeping it alive and things like that. But it means we can actually get, we don't have Stealth Rock, but we can go for a Rapid Spin of our own, or we could go for another layer of spikes. We're going to go for another layer of spikes, that means the Beedrill can't come back in until he goes to the defog, and that means he has to get rid of mine as well, and he gets the crit, unfortunately. But this means we can actually go out. This is the opportunity we've been waiting for, because we can go out into Star, we can go for the SD, and I know it might come down to Speed Tie. I have a feeling he might be adamant on there, we'll have to see. Yeah, definitely a kill 22 turns in, yeah. It's been quite a stally match, but I am enjoying it, and we are starting to sort of whittle each other down, and I think that sort of slight amount of damage on there will be able to make enough difference to actually allow us to Mega Evolve, get the SD off, and see from that. Roadblock. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, Roadblock is a really good name for Snorlax. We're going to go for that. Thank you, Mirok, for that. So we're going to go for Roadblock. We do still need nicknames for Azelf, Chandler, and Fortress. He does go out into the Gligar here. Now, I have a feeling we can take him out. And I think we're just going to have to go for it. Because at least then, even if we do end up doing that, then we can actually get rid of the hazards and everything like that. Okay, that does a lot less than I expected. Blimey. That Gligar is so bulky. I expected that to do at least, 30-40%, as unfortunately he's going to go out into the Entei here. But we could go out into the Chandelure and start spamming some, oh no, because he's still got the Vaporeon, but we could go for a Trick and get a Choice Scarf Trick off onto that Vaporeon, and I'm quite tempted to do that, actually. I think that's the way to go, because we can save Star. I think that's, yeah. I must admit, I didn't expect it to do that, that, that little amount of damage. That was quite surprising, but maybe the physical set isn't the best set, but we'll have to see. I'm not going to change it just yet, but in terms of the rest of the team, it seems to be synergizing quite well. I'm really enjoying that Snorlax as well, as he does go for the E-Speed as predicted, but we can go for a Trick here, because I think this is Choice Banded Entei, and he's going to go out into that Vaporeon, and if we can get a Choice Scarfed, Choice Lock him with his Vaporeon, that would be really, really good. But hopefully he's not going to be too cheeky and do something like going out into his Beedrill. To be honest, none of us really appreciate Choice Scarf, and even if he goes out to the Magneton, we can go for another go, a Fire Blast from there. But, yeah, as you guys are saying, Gligar is disgustingly bulky, and we do get the Trick off as well, which is absolutely excellent, because that means we now have crippled the Vaporeon, and we can go out into our own Vaporeon, get a Wish off, and we could potentially go back out into Sceptile and heal up from there, which would be really good. I'm really hoping we can do that. and see from there. But we do need some more nicknames for these guys, so let me know. Yeah, this is a seriously long battle, I must admit, but it's a really, really good one as well. I think that layer of spikes is going to prove really crucial for that Beedrill. But he didn't really have much of a choice outside of going out into Vaporeon, because nothing else would be able to take that. But it does mean Chandelure can start to run a little bit rampant. We haven't got anything that outspeeds the Beedrill anymore. We have a speed tie, which is a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully those spikes should be able to make that little bit of difference. As he does go for the Wish here. We're just going to go for... I'm actually tempted to go for Scald here, because I think that Beedrill's coming back in. I think that Beedrill's coming in. I have a very... Ooh, Mr. Mind Mania has suggested Hellblaze for Chandelure. I'm definitely up for that. So we're going to go for Hellblaze. I really, really like that nickname. But yeah, I have a feeling he's going to be cheeky and go out into the Mega Beedrill. And even if he doesn't, nothing else really appreciates a Scald. And the only thing he's going to have to do then is just go for another Wish, which will fail and everything like that. So that will be fine. But I think definitely running Ice Punch and Snorlax is the way to go. I know how bulky Glygars are, but I think that's probably our best bet. As he goes out, he goes out into the Magneton. Oh, that does a huge, huge amount. Blimey. I didn't expect to do that much. I guess because he's just Choice Scarfed. But we can go for Protect here just to get a little bit more HP, which will be nice. I'm tempted to stay in. It sounds a little bit weird, but I can get a Wish and a Protect off. Oh, he is going for T-Bolts, though. Oh, we have got a switch in with Star. And I think, what does Lightning Rod do? Well, we'll find out. No, I can't even... Razor's special attack. It's not going to be particularly useful. Oh, he does go out into the Donphan. But I'm not too worried about that because we have forced him out. And we can go back out into Catfish here, get another Wish off, and heal up from there. As I said, I do apologise. This is taking quite a while, this match. But hopefully you guys are still enjoying it and everything like that. Also, if you could let me know what other Megas you'd like me to do in the future. I'm trying to think of ones I haven't done. There's Mega Aerodactyl, Mega Diancie. It'd be nice to do some OU, actually. I'm doing... My next session is going to be a Mega Banette one, which will be starting on Monday, where I'm going to have a go with an RU Trick Room team, which I think should have potential, but we'll have to see about that. I'm trying to remember what other Megas I haven't done. I've got some written down here. We've got Mega Heracross, Mega Gyarados, Mega Alakazam, which I must admit I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know about you guys, but I feel that Sash Alakazam is so much more useful. He goes for the knockoff. That is a really good play. Well, I think we should still theoretically... No, because EQ's going to do 150. He's probably going to go for an EQ. I think he's just worn us down there. That was a really, really good play, I must admit. So we're going to go out into Azath. He's probably going to go for the EQ. And we can go for... Oh, we don't have it. I thought we... Ah, that was a... It's a really... Yeah, I think he's got us here. Yeah, I can't outstall this guy. But, it's a really, really well put together team, I must admit. The Magneton as well is doing absolutely excellent work. I think the Eleuself, with that Mega Beedrill around, this is the problem. I think we're going to have to go for Dazzling Gleam and hope he goes to the Rapid Spin here. No, he's AV. So that is the end of him, unfortunately. Yeah, I haven't done Mega Manentric, actually. Mega Manentric and Mega Absol. Those two, I could definitely do those. I could do a sort of maybe an OU Volt Turn team, something like that. That would be quite interesting. But from here... Yeah, he's definitely got us here, unfortunately. We're going to have to go out into Chandelure. I think this is going to be... Unfortunately, this is going to be a 6-0, I think, which is a little bit embarrassing. but not much you can do. But we can go for a energy ball, and I think that should KO. I just said this is AV, but I think that will KO because that's super effective compared to neutral, and also have higher special attack. Yeah, that should KO. I'm just running the maths through in my head. I have a bad feeling it might not actually, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I do think it's a 6. To be honest, that was my only real play because he's probably got the ice shard for there. He does go onto the Gligar, as that does manage to live it, but we are going to be able to get a... We're going to go for Shadow Ball, because that's the most neutral... That's the neutral move. So we may not be 6-0'd. We haven't been 6-0'd. That's absolutely excellent. I think the problem is, as well, is... obviously, the Swords Dance Mega Sceptile does rely on the element of surprise, and you guys all know that it's a Swords Dance Sceptile, which does... And also, you know my team as well, but... I think it's, yeah, surprise for that. I think the surprise, it will work better at laddering because of the surprise factor. But, still, I'm going to outspeed this, I think. Oh, no, because I haven't got the Choice Scarf. Well, I'm going to have to keep this around because it pretty much takes out the rest of his team. So we're going to sack off Catfish because Catfish is pretty useless at this point. I forgot I had lost the Scarf there. So he's going to be able to get probably a U-turn or something like that off. He is at 13%, which he may end up surviving another layer of spikes. We'll have to see. As he does go for the knockoff. We're going to go for... We're just going to have to go for a Scald. There's no point Protect stalling or anything like that. That's probably the way to go. Azure for Azelf. Yeah, we could go for that. We haven't had a suggestion yet, so we're going to go for that. So we're going to go for Azure. That was suggested by Mr. Mime Mania. And we shall see from there. So we also need nicknames now just for Fortress, I think, and then the rest of the team's done. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to risk it with Sceptile. And we're going to have to see if we can KO this Mega Beedrill with a speed tie. So we're going to go for a... probably a Leaf Blade. I think we can still KO this with that. I guess Dragon Claw is probably the best way to go. Yeah, we're going to go for that, because at least then we can balance the books and see from there. And the question is he going to risk the speed tie? And we'll have to see. It's a really, really difficult choice for him to make, because the Beedrill does actually handle the rest of the team and could potentially be his win condition. But Star can work its way around the rest of them. I'm actually going to go... Dragon Claw hits everything neutrally. Whereas Leaf Blade actually takes out the Donphan. And I have a feeling the Donphan might be the thing coming out. I think we're going to go for Dragon Claw. Because that's the most neutral... Yeah, that's the neutral... Yeah, that's the best play, I think. But we do need to wait until Entei and Donphan are out the picture. But I think that's choice-banded Entei, which makes it a little bit less scary, because we can always go out into Chandelure from there, which will be nice. He wins the speed tie. That's fair enough. He's complaining about his own good luck. But I don't mind. Honestly, like, I'm pretty sure you had it from here anyway. As soon as you... That was an absolutely excellent play with that knockoff as well. Which was a shame, but we will be doing, as I said, we'll be doing some more battles as well with this team and seeing how we can improve it. And then I'll make sure we'll put a the whole team will be going in the description as well once it becomes live. I'll try and make sure I do that this evening. If not, by tomorrow morning it should be up. I'm trying to think if there's any other announcements. So as I said, Mega Burnett next week for RU, which should be good fun. Oh, and also, if you guys enjoyed the epic fish battles, then I have been working on a project to actually bring more of those episodes in, where rather than actually playing against each other, they're actually going to be playing against low laddering people. So, because I want to see if we can get a fish to beat someone at Pokemon, because that will be absolutely hilarious. So, he does go out into the Entei here, which means we're going to have to go out into Snorlax, and we're going to have to rely on the fact we can take a hit. And we'll see. Yeah, honestly don't worry about the length. It's been a good game. Mr. My Mania suggested Walnut for Fortress. But yeah, so on Sunday, I'm going to be uploading another Epic Fish Battles episode where I'll be playing against other low ladder Pokemon in what am I saying? I'm completely losing the ability to speak. Other low ladder Pokemon people. Using, I think it's a Mega Gardevoir team, which should be really interesting, and I'm really, really hoping we can get a win with them, because it would be absolutely hilarious. Because, honestly, if we can get a win where a fish beats a human at Pokemon, I would be absolutely speechless. I don't know what I would say. All I know is it would be absolutely epic. And hopefully, yes, that will be coming out most likely on Sunday. And I will try my hardest to get it out there on Sunday at 6 o'clock, just like what happened last week. And also, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that first one. It was a lot of fun for me, and to actually, record that, because it's something a little bit different, a little bit quirky. You guys seem to enjoy it. It got quite a following on Twitter as well. I was quite surprised. Oh, we do knock him down to 1, which is a shame. I was hoping that EQ would take him out, but not my chance for stuff. But yeah, a lot of people really, really enjoyed it as well. He does end up with a stone miss, as the hacks is starting to balance out there, which is nice. For some reason it went a bit funny on the stream, but it should be okay now. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it seems to be fixed. As he goes out into the Don fan, and we can go for. We're just going to have to go for a Body Slam. Hope for that power, because if we can power him, it means he might not be able to get the Ice Shard off, but I think that Mega Beat... Oh, it comes... Oh, we might have a chance, actually, thinking about this. If we can KO the Donphan, and the Beedrill goes down to those spikes, we might have a chance to win. So we're going to go out into Shandy, as I'm hoping he's going to go for the Ice Shard, because I think I can take that. Thing is, though, I won't outspeed that Magneton, unless the Magneton specs. So we can go for, we'll go for Energy Ball, because that's our most powerful move there. That is a shame. But, yeah, we did have a potential, I don't think we'd have won, but, actually, no, I guess, because he did still have the, Vaporeon, but it would have been pretty close, but, yeah, we're gonna go on to another battle. That was an absolutely excellent game. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So we're gonna go for another one. So we're going to go from the top, because apparently the top is the way to go. So we're going to go for a battle against Mike Rect, who normally brings some teams. I'm like huge fan of. And also, I don't know, it almost says Sun Team in some ways with the Heliolisk, but I don't think it is, to be honest. I think that's probably Dry Skin. He definitely hates... Crocoon, because with the two, Dry Skin and Water Absorb there. I guess he might not be Water Absorb, but we'll have to see. So in terms of lead, I kind of anticipate the Rotom leading, to be honest. I'm quite tempted to lead with Roadblock, and I think that's the way to go. Yeah, so Balzock's just asking what's our miss. We've only just had one game. He goes out into Brock now. I do like that nickname. We can go for Pursuit. Well, I think he's going to be setting up the rocks here. I'm going to go for Body Slam. And I don't think he's going to switch out. He's probably going to set up his rocks, as I said. And then we can go for a Pursuit after that. And just keep going until he's trapped. But I do think he's going to be going for Stealth Rocks here. Yeah, so I'm doing some UU at the minute. He sets up the Reflect. Ooh, so he's dual screens. That's going to be interesting to try and break. As he's dual screens, so that's going to be quite interesting. I think, rather than getting some more damage off on this guy, I'm quite happy to go for a Body Slam, because if it means anything that does come in... oh, the ones at the bottom of the new... I do apologise, guys, I'm... the stresses of streaming are getting to me. No, I will make sure to get the next one from the bottom. I can't remember... Yeah. Yeah, maybe I am wrong then. I may have been wrong then. I do apologise if I have been. So he goes out into Not Even Dizzy, as we get the power, which was what I was hoping for. he really doesn't have a huge amount for Hellblaze. So we're going to go out into Hellblaze. And we're actually going to go for a trick, predicting the Sucker Punch after this. Because I know for a fact that Not Even Dizzy cannot really touch this outside of Sucker Punch. And if we can trick him into a move, I'll be quite happy with that, to be honest. And that would be quite a lot of fun. I know I'm quite happy to throw away my Scarf, which probably isn't the best tactic. As he goes to the CC, we're just going to go for a trick here. And I think I'd have lived a Sucker Punch anyway. And we'll see from there. So Balzor's suggesting I do PU. Yeah, I have done a lot of PU. I mean, I haven't recently, I must admit, but I might end up doing a stream later on where, oh, it doesn't end up doing that. What's he going for? Oh, he ends up getting parried. We are going to go out into our Catfish here, just because I don't want Hellblaze to be taking Sucker Punch and stuff. But yeah, I am a huge fan of PU. But I do quite like building around Mega Pokemon as well, especially for these live streams. But I am definitely going to go back to my roots, because I used to be a huge PU fan, and do some more PU, because it is a lot of fun. I still remember the days as well when Mega Glalie and also Mega Camerupt was PU as well, which was just absolutely disgusting, I must admit. I'm kind of predicting switch out into Heliolisk now. So I'm actually quite tempted to go out into something different. Possibly Star. He might have the HP Ice though, that's the thing. Maybe even Hellblaze. Because even if he goes out... I guess he's still got those light screens up. This is the problem. We're going to go out into Roadblock, because I think he's going to predict the Scald or something like that, and he can always go for Volt Switches there. So yeah, I've done 3 PU teams. I don't know if you guys have used them before. I had a Christmas special, which feels like absolutely ages ago, and to be honest it is, where I used a Daybird, if I remember rightly, which was a lot of fun. As he goes out into Jelly Chips. Okay, I was expecting either or. I wasn't expecting that, I must admit. But I think we're going to go out into... I would like an opportunity to go out into Azelf, because we can get a nasty plot off and actually pretty much sweep from there, maybe. I guess the Sucker Punch from Not Even Dizzy. We have to wait for these light screams to go. Oh yeah, and when Mega Beedrill was PU, that was just absolutely disgusting. We're going to go back out into Catfish, because I need to get wait till these screens are gone, and I don't think there's much that Jellicent can do to us there. So he does go for the Scald, as we're immune to that, and the Reflect wears off, so I'm going to go for... Oh, we might go for Shadow Ball here. I'm going to go for a Wish. He may end up packing the Taunt here, but I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I am a huge fan of PU and also NU as well. And I would like to do some more of those. But it's interesting how all the Megas are starting to shuffle their way up. It's taken a while. I can't remember where Mega Camerupt is. That might be still an NU. I'm not too sure. It might have gone up to RU. But I also remember when Mega Glalie was NU as well. And even then it was ridiculously annoying. Because it's just too powerful, really. But we're going to see. So we're going to go for a Wish as he goes to Shadow Ball. And that means we can go out into... He's not going to go for a Water Move. He's going to go for another Shadow Ball or something like that. Which I don't really want Star to... I guess we could go out into Star, but he's probably going to pack the Willow. I haven't really got a plan for this guy. I guess we can start setting up hazards. Yeah, we're going to start setting up hazards, I think. Because if we get a layer of T-Spikes is going to help us a lot. So we can go out into Walnut as a Shadow Ball. Doesn't really do a huge amount. He does get the special defense drop, though, which is quite important, I must admit. So we're going to get a layer of T-Spikes. He does lack a Poison type, and that's probably the best bet from here. Even just one layer of T-Spikes is going to make quite a lot of difference, because we can Spin Block with Chandelier. Did we trick him? See, I've completely forgotten already. So he goes for the Pursuit, Chandelier. As he goes to the Close Combat, we get the... Yeah, so he is Choice Scarfed as well. So we pretty much destroyed that. Let's see. So he goes to the Scald, and that does a pretty decent amount of damage. But we can go back out into Catfish here, And I know we can't really touch the sky, but I think I'm quite happy to do that. And we shall see from there. But yeah, also when Mega Lopunny was PU, yeah, it was a bit of a joke, I must admit, at the start of this, start of ORAS. The tier placements for them were just, I don't know why they didn't just quick ban it. Like, it just made no sense at all. So Mega Cameraptor apparently is in RU now. Fair enough. I think that's probably the best place for it to sit. Just because it hits a bit too hard for NU, I must admit. Especially with the sheer force as well. Apparently the challenges after a while auto cancels. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that either. But yeah, if you guys just hold off the challenges then until I'm near the end, then that way I don't end up missing you. That's probably the best way to go. So we're gonna have to see. He go out into the catfish. He does go for the shadow ball here. Doesn't get the drop. We're gonna go for another wish here. As it's really difficult to know what to do. Because I don't want to go out into Hellblaze. Because we really can't handle this Chandelier. I don't know why I didn't Volt Switch. I guess because he outsped. But we can go back out into Fortress after that. Because without that special defense drop, we should do quite a lot. And we can also start setting up some more spikes and things. Goes out into not even Dizzy. Well, we know for a fact it cannot touch Chandelier here. So that's going to be fine. Cricket Tomb for a suggestion. Oh, blimey. So Balzok's got a suggestion for Cricket Tomb, which is 252 for HP and speed. Timid with Leftovers, Perish Song, Sub, Protect, and Infestation. That does sound like a really weird set, but I kind of get it. Oh, he's got the EQ. I forgot. That's really unfortunate. But we're going to get onto Azure now because we can get the nasty plot off. I completely forgot that thing got EQ. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. I'll let him know. As he goes out into Brock here, we're going to go for the Thunderbolt because that does do the most. I don't know if this is going to take him out or not. Probably not. That's probably the best way to go from here. But looking at the time, I may not have time for another battle, unfortunately. We might have to just leave this at 2. But just because of the timing of it, because YouTube's a little bit weird where you can't edit videos over a certain length. Because he does go for the light screen here, which is the best play to make. I'm actually going to go for another nasty plot here, because then that will actually KO him from there, I think. As he goes to the U-turn, I'll be interested to see what he goes out into. But yeah, I think this is probably going to have to be the last one, unfortunately, just because of the timing of it. But as I said, I definitely will be doing more live streams in the future. Don't worry about that. It's definitely something that's going to keep going. Whether it's going to stay being on Fridays, I'm not sure. But I will obviously keep you guys updated with events and things like that. Oh, getting that light screen off is such a pain, though. So we'll see what he goes out into. Yeah, it's difficult to tell, but Balzok is saying about that set, about how many people curse and rage about it. I can imagine that. I'm predicting the Sucker. I know it's dangerous to predict, but I'm predicting the Sucker Punch. Which is why we're going to go out into Walnut. And I think that's the best bet. Because I can start setting up more hazards. I think hazards is definitely the way to go here. Especially with the nature of the team. If I can get Stealth Rocks up, which I don't actually I just realised I don't have Stealth Rocks. I'm probably better off with Stealth Rocks rather than Spikes. That's what we're going to go for. We're going to change Spikes for Stealth Rocks. Just because it does so much more. He goes to the Rapid Spin. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, he can do that. But what we can do is we can go for the Volt Switch there. And as he is invariably going to switch out, I did forget that we have lost our spin blocker. Which is a pain. He goes out to warm you up. As we can now go out into... can't really go out into start. Yeah. I don't know. There's something funny about this team still. I don't know what it is. I think it's the Sceptile set still isn't. It isn't doing it for me. I don't think. I think I would recommend changing that to a special set. It's probably the way to go. But he is invariably going to outspeed. I'm a little bit worried of burns. But we're going to go for a... yeah, he does go for the burn. I had a feeling that might have been Choice Scarf. That was the problem. I think... Just trying to see what we should go out into. Yeah, we really don't have much for Rotom Heat, unfortunately. Which is a pain. As he goes for the Volt Switch, we can get a body Slam off. Unless he goes out into that Jellicent. And that's probably what he's gonna do. No, he goes out to not even Dizzy. I guess I don't really have a switch in for this. Because I don't think Catfish can take 2. I guess, yeah, we should be able to take 2. That's probably the best bet from here. But, yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying enjoying all these live streams and everything like that. I do try and sort of change them up, make them a bit more entertaining. I'll have a think of maybe some more fun ones we can do after my exams and things like that. Because I in an ideal world, I'm looking to stream probably twice a week if I can, which means twice as much of you guys seeing me and being able to interact with me, which is really good. And I know you guys definitely seem to be preferring these. He's going to set up some more screens here. These screens are just killing me. But we can go out into we're gonna go out into Zia and see from there, because he sets up the light screen first. As we're gonna go for the nasty plot. I don't think that Hitmontop has Sucker Punch then. Thinking of its moveset. As he does go for the Reflect, and we're gonna set up. Do we set up one more nasty plot? I think we're going to have to set up one more nasty plot to literally to break through. I think that's our only way, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the disadvantage of not having a defogger, having a rapid spinner instead, is that with the screens and everything like that, we can't get rid of them. As he does go for that U-turn as expected, but I think we can take a close combat and things like that, which should be fine. I hope. But no, yeah. So, as I said, any other suggestions for live streams would really, really be appreciated. Even if it's not necessarily like Mega Pokemon or team building related. If you want me just to use an old team and see how far I can go on the ladder or anything like that would be, yeah, any suggestions from you guys, or even something utterly ridiculous. I would definitely be up for that. Unfortunately, due to the nature of epic fish battles, we can't actually do that live, which is a shame. There's a surprising amount of editing that has to go on with those. I think that last video was about 8 to 10 hours worth of editing, which for a 5-minute video is quite crazy, I must admit. And that doesn't even include... I did have the Sucker Punch. Oh, that is a shame. But yeah, I could also use, as Mr. Mimania is suggesting, using Tommy's or Pyrotus's, he's got a online website thing where you can generate random teams, which is the one I use for the Slowbro sessions. I could definitely use that and see what sort of random teams I can get and play with those. But it depends on what you guys want, really. So let me know in the comments down there, or even, you know, if this has passed being live, let me know what you think. We're gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam, because Thunderbolt does the most. That's probably the best way to go, I think. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go for. Hopefully you guys, you know, are enjoying the stream, everything like that, and yeah, any support for future streams as well will be appreciated. It's quite nice because I don't think, as far as I'm aware, there's many people that actually, other PokeTubers that actually do live streaming on YouTube. Most of them do it on Twitch, which, while I understand Twitch has got so much more, like, it's so much more useful, sort of, like, I'm forgetting how to speak again. There are a lot of benefits to Twitch, namely because you get sort of live feedback, like instant live feedback, and a lot of extra like add-ons with OBS and things like that you can use. But I do like to keep on one platform, and I have a feeling, I don't know if it's going to be true or not, that in the future live streaming on YouTube is going to become a much bigger thing, and I'd rather be part of a new movement than join an old one. So he goes out into drop the base, which is the Glalie. And I know an Ice Shard's coming my way, unfortunately. So I don't know how much there is that I could do. I could definitely do a Gen 1 challenge. That would be quite interesting. I could go all the way back and actually... I could even play Pokemon Gen 1. I think you can do that on Pokemon Showdown, which would be quite funny. I have also got a suggestion here from Balzock about changing my Showdown layout. Yeah, actually, I might do that. I think if I've got some time over this weekend, I'll have a look and see if I can change the layout, because it is a little bit boring for you guys day in, day out. I don't know how useful Azelf is going to be. I guess it is actually quite useful. I'm going to go out into... it's really difficult to know. I think potentially Catfish, because we know we can wall it. Do I have Pokemon X, Y? Yeah, I have got X and Y as well. But it is a shame, because I would really like to do some live Wi-Fi battles and things like that, but I don't have a capture card. Which would be a lot of fun to use, I must admit, because capture cards are really, really, really expensive, unfortunately. He does go onto the jelly chips. I know that was quite an obvious switch, but it was something I did kind of have to make. But we can go back out into Walnut. With his lack of Rapid Spinner, we can get some T-Spikes going. It's a shame I don't have Stealth Rocks, because we'd be able to get rid of that Uxie. But yeah, if I could get a capture card somehow, it would be really, really good, because I'd love to do some Wi-Fi battles. I should be able to hopefully get enough sort of connections from people to actually get people to breed my Pokemon, because I really, unfortunately, with all of this and my degree and everything, like, actually getting time to breed would be quite difficult. But I'm sure I'll be able to get some Jenna or something like that to actually generate the teams. And things like that, which would be really fun, and it would add another aspect to my channel rather than just purely Showdown, because I know a lot of people do watch live Wi-Fi battles and things like that, and I can sort of tap into both audiences. But unfortunately, at the minute, I snags the burn, which is a shame. Let's see, I can survive another, so I'm actually tempted to go for another layer, just because it means I have a chance for stalling. If I can get rid of this jelly chips, that's probably the best way to go. But yeah, it's, Seagamer, if I could, I definitely... Oh, he gets the crit. He gets the crit. That is a shame. I think what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to go out into Azure and go for the T-Bolt to weaken him. And then we can go out into the Sceptile from there. But no, definitely Seagamer. If I had a capture card and everything like that, and I think, unfortunately, I don't think I've got competitive pokes on my X and Y, because my girlfriend recently restarted that to actually play it herself. So I ended up losing those because I had no capture card or anything like that. I wasn't particularly keen on keeping them, and they weren't even fully IV trained or anything like that, which is a shame. But yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, I can definitely Pokegem via PK Hex and all that sort of stuff, because I haven't updated my 3DS in absolutely ages. So I do have the potential to do that. I don't know if you need 2 3DSs, that's the only thing. He does get into warm-up here. We know this is a defensive set. Maybe even specially defensive, considering how little that took it. So we're going to go for a Psyshock, because I think it's time for Azure to get as much damage off on this guy as possible. And warm-up definitely threatens my team the most from there. But yeah, as I said, I'd definitely love to bring Wi-Fi battles to the channel, but I know you can sort of point cameras at the 3DS and things like that, but it's not particularly high quality, and I know a lot of people do it, but I would rather keep up with this sort of good quality. I think quality is definitely something I want to keep with this channel, and yeah, it is unfortunate, but yeah, as I said, definitely. And I've never done an LP before, as you guys know, and if I ended up getting a capture card as well, I would definitely like to do some sort of Nuzlocke or something like that of the more recent ones, because I've done a lot of ROMs and things like that for GBA, sort of offline, non-recorded. But I would definitely love to do something a bit different. But we're going to have to go out into Star here, unfortunately, just to take out this Uxie. As we can Mega Evolve now, and we can go for a Dragon Claw, because that's going to do the most. I might even go for a Leaf Blade here. I'm going to go for a Leaf Blade. As it didn't Mega me up for some reason. Maybe I missed the click. Which, I kind of hope I haven't, because I know I should still outspeed that. I might outspeed that Heliolisk. We'll see. That might have been a bit unfortunate if that has happened. But yeah, no one's got time for IV training. It's when people want perfect, shiny IV, 6 IVs is when it's sort of having a bit of a joke at that point. He goes back out into warm-up here, as we're going to have to go out into Roadblock to potentially take that Overheat and see from there. But I think, I don't think we got a chance to really win, especially with that Helios around. We need to keep Star around, and we need to get rid of that Mega Glalie. That Mega Glalie is definitely causing us the main issues. But we could stall that with Vaporeon, I think. And also that toxic damage as well. We'll definitely start racking that up from there. But breaking through that Jellicent as well, I'm a little bit reticent of how to do that. As he does go and end up going for the Volt Switch. That was a really, really good play on his part. But I think it's time for Roadblock to go down, because he's not really... He can't really do much. And I know I have the potential to... to heal him and also get the Wish off, but at this point I can't see. I'm not going to get enough turns to do that. I do require 2 3DSs, unfortunately, because I need 1 to battle and 1 to do that. But my brother's up in uni as well, and at the same uni as well, which is quite fortunate, which is why he's able to do these slow bros and things like that. So I could always use his 3DSs as well, because he doesn't really use it that much. So it's definitely a possibility. It's literally just getting that capture card, which would be really nice. It's difficult to know when or sort of with what, to actually affording it, and also you got to send it away and all that sort of stuff. So we're just going to go for Pursuit here, because I think if we can whittle down Jelly Chips enough, we can actually get a KO there with Sceptile. He's still got that Mega Glalie, which with the Ice Shard is definitely threatening him. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean... Yeah, so as I was saying, I don't mean IV training. I meant sort of... IV breeding is... yeah, no one's got time for that. I don't know why I called it IV. This is the thing, because I don't do it. I don't sort of... I'm not consciously thinking about the buzzwords and stuff like that. But yeah, I meant to say, IV breeding. But this Jelly Chips is definitely going to cause us some issues, as we're going to go for Pursuit. It's really not doing a huge amount, but we're going to go down to Burn next turn. So I'm hoping he lacks the Recover. I'll be interested to see whether this is just like a purely offensive one. No, he does pack the Recover, which is a shame. So we're going to have to go out into our Sceptile from there. And we're going to have to go for 2 Leaf Blades. And I think 2 Leaf Blades and a Poison, even if I get burnt, should be able to take this guy out. And we have got a high chance for critical hit as well. So I think that's probably the best way to win. And I think we got the best way to go from there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way to go from here. So we're gonna hope for a crit, unfortunately. I think that's the only way we can actually win from here. But it's going to get up. It's a close game, I must admit. But they've both been quite sort of long, drawn-out games. But I think my team does seem to be lacking longevity. I one-shot. Blimey, I didn't expect a one-shot. Maybe he was specially... No, because the Rotom's specially defensive. That's a bit weird, I must admit. But we might have a chance here. Because the Glalie... I guess he needs to keep that Glalie around, that's the thing. And he can't afford to explode with the Vaporeon, with the Protect and everything like that. He goes out into this. I'm actually going to be a little bit cheeky and actually damage calculate this. Because I know I don't damage calc that often. But I'm really interested to see Rotom, Heat, Defensive against... let's just bring that out. Mega Sceptile. Obviously, it's got the special set only. So we're going to go for 252. With Dragon Claw is probably our best one. And that does almost there. That's potential KO on a defensive Rotom. So I'm quite happy to go for that, actually. So we're going to go for Dragon Claw, because I think that might be able to KO. Considering that was a defensive set as well, I think we got a chance, yeah. Yeah, we'll go for it, and we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, I think, yeah, that's the best bet. Because if we can get rid of this Rotom, we've definitely got a chance of winning here. Because, I mean, I know I can't do much to the, whatchamacallit, the Heliolisk. No, that does a lot less than what was I looking at? We're going to have to go out into Catfish, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to have to go out into Catfish, because he's not going to Volt Switch. Then what was I looking at? Rotom H, defensive. Oh, I misread it as Dragon Pulse, because they're using... yeah, that was my mistake. But, in the end of the day, he does go for the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, I think he has won this anyway, to be honest. So we're going to go for a... We're going to have to go for a Wish here. Because we can't really go for a Scald, unfortunately. I will see from here. But yeah, I think this is going to be our last battle, unfortunately, guys. Just looking at the timing of it, I truly try to keep these streams between sort of an hour and a half, because it means that it's easier for people to see. Macadii's put a new video up, and it's an hour long. That's doable. Whereas when I have my Mega Tyranitar one, which was 3 hours long, it did require a lot of dedication to watch the whole thing. So that's part of the reason why I like to keep it short, and also because of YouTube's limiting how often you can videos of certain lengths past, I think it's like 2 hours, something like that, you can't actually edit them, which I quite like editing the start and the ending to make it just seem a bit smoother for people that did miss the stream, rather than me sort of trying to manage the player at the start and at the end. So we're going to just go for a Protect here, because we can get a bit of a stall off, get our Wish up as well, and we don't really have another move outside of that. I guess we could Heal Bell, but I have a feeling that's going to be doing quite a lot to us. So we're going to go for Protect, and I think we're going to have to rely a little bit on stall on this. Forgot to Volt Switch. I must admit, I was surprised when he did end up switching out. That was a interesting play. But it does mean we have more of a chance against Sunburnt. But even then, I still think, yeah, probably not, unfortunately. So we will have to see. But, yeah. I don't think I've won this one. He's still got a full HP Mega Glalie, which, while Catfish does wall, I think only walls it to an extent. We would have to rely on getting a burn, and even then, Mega Sceptile is not doing enough to the Rotom at all. He is going for the T-Bolt. Considering the lack of recovery, he's either Scarfed or Specs. Maybe even Scarfed. We're going to go for another Wish here. Yes, as Sif said, that was a good stream. It was a really, really good stream, and I absolutely loved that Mega Tyranitar stream. It was absolutely incredible, and I got so hyped up for it, which is why it ended up lasting 3 hours, which, yeah, it was really, really good. But I think also, when I start streaming more frequently, I think it's easier for you guys to watch, like, 2 1-hour streams, rather than 1 to 1.5 hour, rather than like a massive 3-hour one as well. So I think it works best for both parties as well. He does go for the T-Bolt, as that is going to end up taking us out, I think. What we're going to have to do... No, we can't win because of the Ice Shard. We're going to go out with Style Points. And we're going to go out into Mega Sceptile. I probably should have done that originally, thinking about it, because we know that we can outspeed the Sunburnt. But yeah, the Rotom walls me. The Mega Glalie has got the Ice Shard as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it does have the ice shard, and that's going to be able to take me out, unfortunately. But no, I probably should have switched out, but yeah, even then, it is GG from here, definitely. So, in terms of improving the team, I don't know if I'd be better off with maybe Espeon? Not Espeon, Umbreon instead of Vaporeon. Just because it's got a bit more physical bulk, and it's a bit more reliable for getting wishes off and heal belling. And just a little bit better at support. But it definitely doesn't hit as hard, that's the only thing. I think we're just going to have to say GG from here and go for a Dragon Claw. That's probably the best way. Yeah, that's... As he does end up going for the Willow, and that's going to burn us. So, Balzock has a suggestion for an entirely... for me to make an entirely new Pokemon series to differentiate myself from other Poketubers. I would definitely like to do that. It's a really difficult thing to know what to do. I don't know... I need to have an idea, that's the problem. And it's having that idea, and sort of implementing that into this sort of thing that's really tricky to know what to do. Because it's not like... A lot, as I said, a lot of things have been done before. I think the epic fish battles is definitely something I'd like to focus a lot more on, just because it's a bit silly, and I really enjoy doing them, and it's absolutely hilarious. And hopefully you guys will enjoy the next one as well, because you enjoyed it. Everyone, a lot of people seem to enjoy it, actually. A lot of other Poketubers as well, which I thought was quite interesting. So that's definitely going to continue, and that's going to hopefully sort of differentiate me a little bit. The live streaming as well, I'm hoping will also differentiate me, because a lot of other Poketubers don't do that. We're just going to go for Scald, and it is GG from here, unfortunately. So I will have a think about a future series, maybe something a little bit fun, a little bit silly. I'm not too sure, but as he does end up going out into the Sunburnt, and he isn't. So is he dry? He's not dry skin then. He must be solar power then, which is quite interesting. So unfortunately, it is going to be game over from here. I did expect him just to go for a Volt Switch. I don't know. That's why I went for the Scald. Ah, I see. He didn't want the extra fire weakness. No, I think that's fair enough, especially with Mega Glalie. I would probably still go for Dry Skin, maybe. SD does negate Burn, where you get the 50% attack drop from the Burn, but then also the SD brings you back up to normal. But the problem is he does have the Ice Shard with the Mega Glalie, so there wasn't any way I could really wall him or do anything like that. Which is unfortunate. So the new attack doesn't get cut, so it's not like... Yeah, so I think that's how it works. Is it's double whatever your stat is at that point, so it's gonna just cancel out. And unfortunately, that is the end of the match right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I will be honestly, guys, I will be doing more of these. So hopefully, I will see you guys at a future one. If you leave some suggestions down in the comments of which ones you want to do, and also if you could support the stream with a like, I would absolutely appreciate that. So hope you guys enjoyed the battle and also the streams, and I will see you guys at our next video. Macadii out.